Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another Bitcoin video. We've discussed over the last 2 days the strong support in the 19.5 to 20k region, and I discussed specifically yesterday around 3 hours before the mighty bounce, 10% bounce occurred. I said, hey guys, a bounce is very likely to happen. If you're going to take longs, it should probably be in this price region as we are on major support. And guess what? The bounce did occur. Zooming in on the 4-hourly chart, we can see a bounce from deep into that 19k range occurred 15% to the upside, right into strong resistance retesting now. So that is great to see. Good job to everyone who followed that information yesterday. Good job to everyone who stuck by the TA rather than being forced into a biased opinion. It was pretty clear we were going to see a bounce, and the reason being was we had Bollinger Bands showing us we were extremely oversold. We had volume starting to decrease in the downwards trend, and we were reaching very oversold levels on the RSI, as well as a few other things that we've looked at quite extensively, and just discussing sheer support in that region, such as the support stemming from the weekly chart in the pink descending wedge formation being retested, the support stemming from the bull market support band, and of course the support stemming from the monthly chart at 19.6k in that green zone there. So we had a bunch of support. That was a very clear long level, and I discussed that quite extensively. And so now we're in basically the same position we were in a few days ago. We've now seen a bounce, or a few weeks ago I should say, we've seen a strong move to the upside, but that strong move has been stopped right into critical resistance. Now, this resistance we're facing right now isn't as strong as the 25.2k resistance at the top of the range. That resistance, of course, being the one I'm circling right now at the top of the range. It's not as strong as that, but it is pretty strong on a local level, right? Because we have not only resistance in the price chart, zooming into the 4-hourly chart, we can see a downtrending resistance line here stemming from the 21st of February, but we also have resistance from the 50 EMA, this blue line here, this blue moving average, which is very strong on Bitcoin. It very much does determine quite a lot of Bitcoin price action. So there's resistance right there, and there's resistance on the RSI on the daily chart. As you can see, there is a downtrending resistance line on the RSI that matches the downtrending resistance line we're seeing on the price action. And so right now we are in a very strong resistance zone. And right now, if you haven't longed yet, if you didn't take longs, you didn't buy Bitcoin in that green price box between 19.5 and 20k, which is what I was recommending people do, I wouldn't recommend buying now, okay? You buy at support, you don't buy at resistance. And as of right now, sorry about that, as of right now, we are at very strong resistance, and this is not a zone in which I'd be interested in buying. In fact, I would not recommend buying Bitcoin until, considering we're in this 22k price region now, I would not recommend buying Bitcoin. If you're a long-term buyer, I wouldn't recommend buying until the break of the 25.2k range. We've discussed this quite a lot in the past. If that break does happen of a 25.2k range, we will be breaking above a pretty crucial level on the volume profile. And as you can see, there's not much historical resistance on the volume profile between 25.2k and 28.6k. So that will be the next major macro buying zone, provided we've bottomed out, provided we go up from here. But in terms of short-term buying, I mean, if you're a short-term trader, you could take a swing trade upon breaking this yellow line, and you could take that trade up to targets such as 22.3k, depending on when we get there, or targets such as this red resistance zone just below the top of the range at around 23.8k to around 24.3k. That could be your target from breaking that zone there. If we break that yellow line, you could enter and potentially take profits in that red zone. That would be a logical swing trade to take. We are in the process of potentially forming some sort of inverted head and shoulders pattern. We'll have to see how that plays out. Obviously, that's very preliminary stuff. You could also make the case that this is one big M formation, and of course that's what the bears have been making the case for quite a while, but I would debunk that case quite quickly because I don't think it's based on logic, considering what we've seen based around the 4-year cycle theory, and considering what we've seen around Wyckoff accumulation as well. And again, something I've discussed quite a lot. People say Wyckoff accumulation is occurring. They say that, and they say it, and they use it as justification for seeing new lows coming later in this year. I would say that's not a very valid case, because you could quite easily, in fact, you could just as easily make the same case that we're seeing a different variation of Wyckoff accumulation, as you can see on the right-hand side of the screen here in the right-hand diagram, that says we go back halfway into the range and then break to the upside. So the first claim for Wyckoff, the bearish claim, is no more valid than the second claim for Wyckoff, which is the bullish claim. So I don't think the Wyckoff accumulation argument holds any weight whatsoever. I think the only real bearish argument that holds any sort of weight as of right now is the macro argument, right? And that's an argument everyone is familiar with. The macro argument is what holds weight, okay? That's the argument in saying that stock market's going to go down, everything's going to go down, recession's going to happen, and Bitcoin's going to get dragged down with it. That's the only argument that holds weight. And, I'm inclined as an investor, as a believer in Bitcoin, I'm inclined, right, as an analyst specifically, I'm inclined to trust the charts. I don't care what, people say about recession. It's all speculative in my opinion. Bitcoin has never seen a recession before. Bitcoin is not directly correlated to the stock market and to financial markets. Bitcoin is more like gold fundamentally than it is to any sort of asset and anything like that. So who's to know exactly how Bitcoin will react in a recession? We don't know. It doesn't matter what you think is more likely. That's the whole point I'm getting at. What matters is what exists. And right now what we have is a trend. We have a trend and I'm not willing to throw it out. The 4-year cycle date range trend is the trend I'm sticking by until it's proven invalid. Now, here's the thing. It can be proven invalid quite easily. All we need to do for this trend to be proven invalid, in my personal opinion, is drop below something like a monthly candle close below 19.6k or see a breakdown from this yellow uptrending line. It's not like I'm going to be sticking by this 4-year cycle trend until we reach sub 10k if we ever get there. I'm not riding or dying with it. I have very clear invalidations for the 4-year cycle theory and my predictions surrounding it, and my prediction being the bottom is in. I have very clear invalidations for it. And so for that reason, I would not consider myself biased in any sense of the word. I consider myself someone who sticks by trends until their end. And that's exactly what I'm doing here. And I don't see, if this trend comes to an end, if we do drop below 19.6k on the monthly chart, we do break below that uptrending yellow line, which would be at like 18k, 18.5k, cool. Then I'll sell at 18k, 18.5k, knowing that I stuck by the strongest trend Bitcoin has ever seen. And I'll be happy to sacrifice the extra 15% loss than selling in this price region and watching Bitcoin skyrocket as per the trend that I should have followed as an analyst. Right, here's the thing, guys. Trust the charts, don't trust people, okay? And, that argument can be flipped back on me and said, well, you're not trusting the charts because recession's happening, that's on the charts. It's like, no, it's not happening on the Bitcoin chart. We've never seen it happen on the Bitcoin chart. We have no point of reference for Bitcoin in relation to it. That's not trusting the charts. That's trusting your bias on the situation. Now, you might be correct, and that's fine, but I have my invalidations. I'm not riding or dying with it. I'm being logical here. I have invalidations, and I'm riding the trend until it ends. That's what I think it's all about there. Back to the overarching point of the video, because we kind of went off on a tangent regarding macro there. Ultimately, there is something important happening in the next 24 hours or so. That's inflation. The CPI release is coming out. The market's consensus is expecting 6%. The previous CPI release was 6.4%, so they're expecting a 0.4% decrease in inflation there. We'll see what happens. Obviously, generally speaking, the whole guideline for inflation and CPI is higher inflation, bad, lower inflation, good. But ultimately, it doesn't matter what the actual number is. It matters what the expectation is, and it matters what the result is. So if you have a high expectation, so for example, we have an expectation, the market's expecting 6%. So if it comes in at 6.1% or higher, that's bearish because it's higher than the market expected. It's higher than what the market priced in. If it comes in below 6%, it's bullish and the market will likely go up. So that's really what we're looking for. And we'll release a video when it comes out. There's not much I can really say about inflation because I don't believe anyone should be trying to predict what inflation is going to be. I think that you're trying to beat the market if you do that. The market has decided. The market is bigger than you, right? The whole market has decided in a general consensus that inflation will be around 6%. Who am I to sit here and be like, no, it's going to be 5.4%? I don't have any position of authority. I don't think anyone does, even Warren Buffett. No one has a position of authority to try and, try and debunk what the entire market thinks about expectations for inflation. So, before I get any questions in the comment section, oh, Wolf, what do you think about where's inflation going? I trust the market. I trade the trend. I don't care who cares what my personal opinion is. It doesn't affect anything. What matters is if it comes in higher than expected, it's bad. If it comes in lower than expected, it's good. That's all that matters, really. So that's something to look out for in the next 24 hours, and mainly just looking out for volatility surrounding that event. Because obviously, when you see CPI come out, you see major volatility come into the market, and that's especially important because, if you're interested in trading Bitcoin, we do have a potential trade set up here regarding breaking this yellow line. And so if we do see the volatility that pushes Bitcoin over that yellow line, you might want to be taking an entry there. Some people just take a conservative approach and don't enter at all, but I personally wouldn't be opposed to that kind of thing, considering how close we are to support right now. One more thing I would like to add in terms of TA is the fact that you could actually say that this entire structure here is going to form into something kind of similar to a descending triangle formation, because what we have, right, is a downtrending resistance line. Okay, so that's compressing the price, and we have major support here. So eventually, the price is going to get so compressed between support and resistance, it's going to have to make a move. Okay, and that structure could end up looking something like a descending triangle and break us down further. Who knows? We haven't actually validated that pattern yet, so I'm not going to speak about it too much. But what I would say is that this compression zone can only last a maximum until when these two lines collide, which will be around the 4th or 5th of April. So at the latest, Bitcoin will be making a major directional decision within this range in, 2 or 3 weeks maximum, 2.5 weeks maximum. So that's important to note as well. So there won't be, it's good to know there won't be a lengthy consolidation. 2 weeks is quite a long period of time, but that's the maximum. So realistically, we're looking at, it could be tomorrow because inflation's coming out, right? But just giving you a guideline there, a maximum of like 2 weeks in this range here, between 19.5 and 22 maximum. So yeah, that's pretty interesting to note as well. So with all of that said, guys, I think I'm going to end the video there. We have discussed quite a lot in terms of short-term. Bitcoin's seen a massive pump as expected, but we are at resistance right now. And so if you haven't taken your longs yet, it's probably a little bit too late to do so. You're probably going to be wanting to wait until the next directional move. So thank you guys for watching the video. I appreciate it. Let's check out a few things before we end it. Highly appreciate it if you stick around. The first of which is the BitGet exchange. Now, this is the default exchange on the Wolves of Crypto YouTube channel. It's the exchange we use on Wolves of Crypto VIP on Telegram as well. And this is the exchange I've been using personally as a trader for over a year now. 5 times lower fees than Binance, some of the lowest fees in the entire market. 15% trading fee discount for signing up using my referral link. That's exclusive to people who use my referral link to sign up to the exchange. That's a lifetime discount, so go ahead and take advantage of that using the link in the description below. There's also many other perks about this exchange that you can read about on the exchange website itself. Other than that, we've got the Crypto Academy. If you want to learn how to trade, you want to take your trading to the next level, you want to become an analyst, you want to become a trader, whatever it may be, you can take the course with a name that just says that. Become a trader, a 10-unit course developed by myself and Mega Crypto, a fellow analyst within the cryptocurrency space who I work with quite closely. We made this course in early to mid last year. We've helped out quite a few people right now. I think we have over 90 students. I do need to update the website here. As of February 2023, 87 students, and we haven't heard any real complaints about the course. It's pretty good, obviously, otherwise we wouldn't release it. So go ahead and check that out if you're interested. Website link is in the description below, and you can read all about it. And then finally, if you're interested in joining the VIP group, you're interested in trading altcoins sub-daily with me on Telegram and about 106 other VIP members, you can do that for 100 USD for a 3-month period, which works out to be around $1 a day. Extremely good value for what you're getting there, so go ahead and check that out. Again, information will be in the description. So thank you guys for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.